Hello folks, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In this video, we will be discussing a current affair topic presented to you by your faculty, Sushma KP. So what is the topic that we are looking into today? Bangladesh violence is explained in this video, wherein we try to see who wins and who loses in this. First and foremost, why exactly are we looking into this particular news? The political violence in Bangladesh has escalated, especially after December 11th. What happened on December 11th? That is the killing of the student leader, Sharif Osman Hadi. This has started the violence. The backdrop of this violence is coming at a period of time where Bangladesh is gearing up for elections on February 12th, 2026, which is what your interim government was brought into after former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's exit. Now, the trigger event of the violent clashes that is happening in Bangladesh right now is after the killing of Sharif Osman Hadi, who was the leader of Inquilabad Moncho, and he is affiliated with National Citizen Party, or from now on we will be referencing as NCP. Now his death became the flashpoint of the violence. What violence did it take place? First and foremost, after the death of your NCP person, anti-India student protests started erupting in Bangladesh. So much so that they set arson on newspapers of Pratham Olo and the Daily Star. We will see why the anti-India protest and why the arson on this two newspaper linked to that person's death in just a while. Bear with me. This coupled with what happened means there was a severe lynching of your attack on minorities and also lynching of Dipu Chandradas, who was nothing but more of, in this case, a daily worker. Okay, in this condition, they started attacking large amount of your cultural institutions. Now, when I start telling cultural institutions, let me just give you a brief background. Post 15-year rule of Awami League Party, which was headed by Sheikh Hasina, the former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, there was a student protest. This student protest was mainly brought about by your NCP. Understanding? Now they also called for an interim government. That was your Muhammad Yunus government. Now the whole point the interim government was brought in was to bring two changes. The 2024 student protest is termed as a revolution. Now this revolution has to come with changes, the same thing as what your interim government was given the task of. Make structural changes, first thing. Second, conduct free and fair elections in Bangladesh. On this backdrop, now there are certain things as making, see, in this one small scenario, your Muhammad Yunus government is the interim government which was asked by the student protest groups to take over as interim government. Now there are other elements in your Bangladesh who are viewing this structural reform as biased against each particular party. So everything is focused around your elections now. What exactly is focused around the elections? Yes, this is the first election after the exit of Sheikh Hasina. After 15 years of your Awami League, this elections pe Awami League is banned into contesting elections. They also passed something called as July Charter referendum. Otherwise, they are going to be, that is, this particular draft is brought about by the interim government, where they will bring in majority of changes with the ongoing elections. First thing, the voter landscape, if you see, comparatively, according to Bragg's survey, earlier only 50% were there. Now another 10% of diaspora of electorate are also going to be getting added in, and more than 15 million Bangladeshis will be able to enter into voting. First and foremost, I told you there are many key elements who are viewing these elections in a different perspective and the timing of the elections in different perspective. Let's take NCP, National Citizen Party, which was formed that is post your July 2024, that is after your protests. Now if you see for NCP, it's just a year-old party. Yes, now if it goes for elections in February 2026, it has not yet found its footing in the common basis, in the common grounds. So it needs more time. So it wants the interim government to delay the election timing. Okay. So then is another party. This is more of an older party, Jamaat-e-Islami or JEI. This has also opposed early elections. This is seeking more of ideological repositioning. Since very long, your Jamaat-e-Islami has had differed opinions. Then comes another old party, that is Bangladesh Nationalist Party. This wants very early elections. See, first and foremost, like Awami League was your BNP, that is on the same timelines. They want early elections is because there is a power vacuum now with the exit of Sheikh Hasina. They want to fill that. They have a proper structure, they have a proper organization, and they have much more experience. So they want to use this to their advantage. So they want this. They want strong cadre. Basically, they want good amount of stability in Bangladesh, and they are condemning violence as more of terrorism. And in most post-poll surveys, they are leading also. Now the interim government, which is led by Muhammad Yunus, the whole point of bringing an interim government was two things: electoral integrity, conduct free and fair elections, bring structural reforms. Now all the three parties that we saw now are all having differed opinions on the changes that is to be brought about. The constant rely of your interim government is on the Bangladeshi army for security and also to make sure your protest doesn't have spillover effects. In this, why is anti-India rhetoric coming into? First and foremost, these people, the student groups or your parts of your citizen party, what are they highlighting means the killers are taking refuge in India and they want to remove any institutions, old institutions or anything that is having pro-India sentiments. That is why they attack those two newspapers also. So they are using this anti-India rhetoric as a mobilization tool, and they are targeting the medias which are labeled as pro-India, and they are blaming India for harboring these people. Now, who is set to gain from this violence? Anyone who is opposing early elections, who want to delegitimize the polls, or even any certain extremist groups. Who loses from the violence or who is losing from the instability in Bangladesh? The interim government's credibility, India-Bangladesh relationship for a matter of fact, election legitimacy, and most importantly, the minority communities understanding, and this also affects your democratic institutions. So this is the issue about your violence that is happening in Bangladesh as of now. So first and foremost, the post-revolutionary tactics. See, yes, they called the 2024 student protest as a revolution, but now Bangladesh is bearing the brunt of that revolution. Understanding? So now your BNP is now trying to see two things. A, NCP is telling on one side you have to remove all the old ones, which means old democratic associations, models, etc. And BNP is one. But at the same point of time, it also wants stability. So it is stuck between these two. So this is what is happening right now in Bangladesh. With this, we come to the end of the content. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and share it along with your friends. Thank you.